Hi, my name is Jesus Varela from the City of Austin's Economic Development Department. Welcome to the Elevate Grant Application Workshop. The Economic Development Department oversees initiatives to assist the development of creative industries in Austin and support the community's unique cultural identity and vitality. This application workshop will provide information about the Elevate Grant for arts and culture nonprofits, individual artists, and small creative businesses. This program is funded through the hotel occupancy tax, and all grants funded with this tax revenue are required to 1, culminate in programs or events that are open and advertised to Austin residents, visitors, and tourists. 2, promote and enhance the city of Austin as a cultural destination. And 3, occur in Austin or its extraterritorial jurisdiction. During this webinar, we will review the Elevate program highlights, application eligibility, funding priorities, eligible expenses, scoring criteria, scoring rubric, a summary timeline of the application cycle, information on how to apply, and assistance provided on applying and filling out the application. The Elevate Grant seeks to provide funding in support of arts and cultural organizations, individual artists, and creative businesses, also known as arts groups, that produce culturally vibrant and diverse artistic content for the public. This funding broadly supports the creative, administrative, and operational expenses incurred in the production of creative activities and events for the people of Austin and its tourists. This investment in Austin's cultural producers will elevate the city's diverse arts and cultural tourism sector, amplify equity, and prioritize inclusive programming. Priority will be given to those who have been at immediate risk of cultural erasure and displacement within Austin and/or have been institutionally marginalized and underfunded by the City of Austin's Cultural Arts Division. Elevate has a 1-year contract term, and applicants may request between $10,000 and $75,000 per year. More specifically, 501c arts organizations may request between $30,000 and $75,000, and individual artists and creative businesses may request between $10,000 and $25,000. We estimate that at least 200 contracts will be awarded in this first programming cycle, with 125 of these grants going to 501c arts organizations and 75 grants going to individual artists and/or creative businesses. Eligibility requirements are: be a 501c nonprofit arts organization of any budget size, be an individual artist with an annual operating budget of $500,000 or less, be a creative business, which we once referred to as an unincorporated group, with an annual operating budget of $500,000 or less. Individual artists and creative businesses may apply directly or with the fiscal sponsor. They must be headquartered in Austin metropolitan statistical area, have a minimum 1 year of creative production in Austin. Again, all activities funded must be in compliance with hotel occupancy tax statute, and applicants cannot be receiving current city funding for the exact same activities. To better understand this program's funding priorities, it is important to understand the definition of cultural displacement. Cultural displacement occurs through changes in the aspects of a neighborhood that have provided long-term residents with a sense of belonging and allowed residents to live their lives in familiar ways. As the scale of residential changes advances and shops and services shift to focus on new residents, remaining residents may feel a sense of dislocation despite physically remaining in the neighborhood. This may also reflect the changing racial or ethnic character of the neighborhood, not just its class composition. In addition, cultural erasure occurs as a result of cultural displacement. When key aspects of neighborhoods go missing, that had once allowed both current and future residents to feel at home. Current and future residents lose access to opportunities in the neighborhood, while the scale of change erases key aspects of the neighborhood that allow residents to feel at home. To better understand this funding priority, it is important to understand the definition of intersectionality. The term intersectionality was coined by Kimberly Williams Crenshaw to highlight the overlapping vulnerabilities that are at play in shaping the life chances of some of society's most vulnerable population. For example, women who are poor, of color, or who are undocumented. Intersectionality describes the many ways in which various forms of discriminations can intersect, creating special vulnerabilities for some. Vulnerabilities related to systemic and institutional racism are an integral part of intersectionality. Priorities will be given to projects that invest in local artists, projects that engage in meaningful community-based partnerships, projects that elevate creative innovation, applicants and projects that demonstrate a measurable commitment to the equity goals and principles of the City of Austin's Equity Office through representation in leadership and program development, and applications who represent the diverse cultures of Austin, particularly those who are from backgrounds that have been historically underrepresented in Austin's cultural funding programs. As stated earlier, applicants may request amounts between $10,000 and $75,000 per year. More specifically, 501c3 arts organizations, 501c arts organizations may request between $30,000 and $75,000. Individual artists and creative businesses may request between $10,000 and $25,000. There is no matching requirement at this time. If awarded, applicants can choose to decline any portion of funds that are not needed. Applicants will submit a project budget as part of their application demonstrating how they will use the funds. We strongly encourage contractors to pay all who work on the project at an equitable wage. Eligible activities include operations related to the organization's ability to produce public events, exhibitions, performances, workshops, classes, and camps that include a public performance or exhibition, and public art projects that are installed on public or private property and accessible to the public. Applications will be reviewed and scored through a two-part process. All applications will be read in their entirety by panel group known as readers. The readers will score the application and provide comments justifying their scores. Applications that meet the requirements outlined in the Elevate guidelines that receive the highest reader scores will be recommended to panel group 2 for a live panel discussion online for final recommendations on funding. The number of awards that are approved is subject to the availability of funds. Applicants will only receive points that apply to their proposal, and we anticipate the most applications will not receive the maximum number of points available. The application scoring rubric is comprised of a total of 100 points broken down into two focus areas: 45 points for operations and 55 points for cultural and social impact. Each focus area is further broken down into specific scoring criteria. These criteria are mission and key constituencies, history of service, cultural leadership, community voice, cultural activities, relevance and responsiveness, intersectionality and inclusion, community relationships, opportunity creation and community benefit, accessibility, programmatic reach, and budget. You can find the full scoring rubric with more information about these criteria in the Elevate guidelines on our website. The Elevate application opened on May 23rd at 10 a.m. The Elevate application is due on Tuesday, June 27th by 5 p.m. Central Time via the online portal application. The virtual panel meetings will be held in August 2023. Applicants will be able to view the meeting, but there will be not, let me repeat that. Applicants will be able to view the meeting, but there will not be an opportunity to communicate with the panelists. Awards will be announced in September 2023. Funded activities must occur between September 15th, 2023 through September 30th, 2024. We have transitioned all grant applications to the new Economic Development Department platform, EDD portal. Hard copies or emailed copies will not be accepted. Responses submitted after June 27th, 2023 at 5 p.m. Central Time will not be accepted. To apply, you must visit www.austintexas.gov/elevate. On our website, you will find the Elevate guidelines and other program details, a PDF preview of application questions, the application link, instructions to get started in Portal, and information on how to help with either the platform or with general grant writing and questions. We strongly recommend that you draft all narrative question responses on your own separate document so that you can easily paste the answers into the online application. The Elevate application will have required document uploads. 501c3, 501c applicants are required to submit organization's IRS determination letter, which indicates the IRS approved the organization's 501c status. They will also need to upload a copy of the most recently completed IRS Form 990. If the applicant has recently received the IRS nonprofit designation, please submit the most recently completed fiscal year financial statement. They will also need to complete the board list form. All applicants must include the insurance assessment PDF, which is emailed to you once you complete the insurance assessment survey inside of Portal. They will need to upload up to 3 samples of work demonstrating the program offered and/or impact of the programs on their primary constituents. All sample materials provided should be concise and representative of the applicant's primary programming. Work samples might include bios of key artists and creative decision makers, artwork samples, promotional materials, seasonal brochures, newsletters, etc. Collages of representative materials will be accepted as a single item of documentation. They will need to submit links of videos and/or audio clips. Video and/or audio clips should not be more than 5 minutes total. Panelists will be instructed to only review 5 minutes of video audio samples. They can also include website or social media pages. You will also be required to submit 2 letters of support. Oral or video testimonials can be submitted if you wish. A letter of support should be no more than 1 page. An oral or video testimony should be less than 5 minutes. Documentation that exceeds these limits may not be reviewed in full by the panel. The Elevate budget history and proposal budget form will also be required. The template can be found in the Portal application. Applicants will be asked to provide their total income and expenses from fiscal year 2018 to fiscal year 2022. Applicants must also provide a written description of the organization's fiscal health, including explanations of major budget fluctuations, surpluses and deficits, the proposal budget deficit for the proposed project, which should include the Elevate request amount and a description of the proposed budget with an explanation of how the applicant intends to use the Elevate funds. And applicants applying with the fiscal sponsor are required to also upload a document, completed and signed sponsorship agreement. If you would like help with your application, you can sign up with one of your future application workshops, where we will provide helpful information about the Elevate Grant Program. Or join us at our upcoming open office hours at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. every Tuesday through the application deadline. No appointment is needed for the open office hours. Workshops, one-on-one application assistance, and open office hours will be available online and in person. Visit www.austintexas.gov/elevate to learn more. Thank you for your time and participation. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact the Long Center or any member of the Cultural Arts Funding staff. You can also find more information about this and other Cultural Arts Division programs on www.austincreates.com. Good luck with your application, and reach out to the Cultural Arts Funding team if you need some assistance.